Hey guys, this is me, Seattle Thunder, also known as London Blues. I'm the executive producer of the At the Buzzer podcast.
I am Run CMC. I am one of the people who is going to also run this podcast.
I'm Laker Viking, one of the other people who's going to run the podcast.
I'm an average NBA fan, and I'll also be on this podcast.
So for the first episode, we will be talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend. So to start off, what do you guys think about the dunk contest?
I'm happy that there was actually life brought back into it after it ended because of people wanting to play again now that they had real competition in Mac McClung. I think his dunks were good, but the judges did overrate his dunks a little bit. His dunk over an actual car is cool and not just the hood. But next year should be really exciting.
Personally, I think Mac McClung has just gotten the dunk contest back. His dunks are really cool. And not just his dunks, it'll just it's gonna get his other players like Giannis, Ja. These guys are all saying they want to do the dunk contest now that McClung has three-peated, and it to me made him the greatest dunker in dunk contest history.
Yeah, I think saying he's the greatest dunker is fair. I mean, he's won 3 times in a row. Everything he's doing is new, which is kind of crazy at this point. The only problem I have is I don't know if all these people are going to join like they say they're going to do, because they say this every year when they see something cool happen in the dunk contest, and then no one ever joins.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Manu Ginobili actually called out Mac McClung, and he said Stephon Castle should have won. What do you guys think about that?
It's a fair observation. His dunks were really good, but it also could just be biased because we've seen Mac McClung do this for 3 years now, and Stephon Castle was a rookie just getting started in this. And so for what he brought to this contest, it was more new to the contest and to have a rookie do so well.
Manu Ginobili had made the point that Mac McClung's dunks were all too similar. Do you guys agree that his dunks were similar to all his previous years?
I mean, I think they're all similar, but I just think they're more impressive in general. Stephon Castle, I mean, his dunks are impressive, but Mac McClung shit no one else is doing, you know?
To be honest, I didn't even watch the dunk contest 2023, 2024, but I decided to tune in this year as it was McClung, and then there were 2 rookies in Stephon Castle, Matas Buzelis, so I don't really know much about they were that too similar to other years, but I thought they were all really cool.
On a separate note, what do you think about the 3-point contest? Because there's not really much you can do to fix a 3-point contest. And the field they had this year was a lot better than I think in past years, including Buddy Hield. What do you guys think, though?
I thought the 3-point contest was good. I don't think you can do much to change it. I think it's fine how it is. It's just a consistently decent part of All-Star Weekend. I was happy with the result. Tyler Hero fan, so that ended out well.
I was a little bit disappointed in that contest, as I thought the shooters, they just didn't perform very well. I mean, Norman Powell at 14, I literally picked him to win the whole contest. There were just only 3 players scored over, or 2 players scored over 20 in the first round, I'm pretty sure. That's just not going to make a good 3-point contest. But shout out to Tyler Hero, dude's been balling this year, All-Star as deserved.
Buddy Hield did break the record tie the record for most threes made in a 3-point contest. I think he really did show out before eventually missing the first 7 shots of the final round and losing by 1 point. But for the first round, tying the record set by Steph Curry himself was really impressive.
Wait, what do you get, 31?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the scores were pretty low this year. I was expecting some people to go off and then they would get 14, 15, which is kind of crazy. Tyler Hirsch, he only had 19 going into the final round, which I thought was a pretty low bar because there's 8 people and they're all pretty good shooters, but I don't know.
Yeah, other years Hero would have probably lost in the first round. Wouldn't have even been close. This year he was able to sneak into the finals and then win it. So pretty impressive from him.
I mean, you can add compared to the 2020 score where multiple people got 25 plus. Comparing to this year, it was a bit rough, but I do think that it was just a rough time for everyone, and they had to get used to shooting, and then eventually they all got it figured out, and it was a good final round.
What do you guys think about the NBA not bringing back the Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu format?
It doesn't make sense to bring back something that you already did last year. It would have been fun to have a rematch considering how entertaining it was last year, but eventually it would just get stale for NBA fans.
I thought the duo idea of Curry and Clay versus her and Caitlin Clark would have been a pretty good thing. But, I mean, it wasn't really that bad. I don't really care that much to see it. I want to see Curry in a shooting contest because I think he's the best shooter, obviously. Everyone thinks that, but I wasn't really that disappointed about seeing him against Ionescu again.
I agree with both of y'all in a certain way. They're both, all of them are great shooters. I would have also loved to see Steph and Clay versus, or probably Steph and Hield, considering it's a Golden State, versus Clark and Ionescu. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty bold move. I didn't think they were going to bring it back, considering Curry wasn't in the 3-point contest. But yeah, it's not really a big deal.
Do you guys think the Mr. Beast 3-point challenge was a good idea, and should they bring it back next year?
It felt so obviously scripted because, like, yeah, why wouldn't you let the little child who's so obviously brought on just to win? Like, why wouldn't you let some kid who's way poorer than you, like, no shade to him, but he's definitely not made that much money from basketball compared to Damian Lillard. So obviously you'd let him win. I just think it was, like, really scripted and they shouldn't bring it back.
I don't think it was all scripted. I mean, it's like really cool that he made that shot. Like, sure, Dame would have probably made 3 in a row in an empty gym, but it would have been fun either way. But yeah, congratulations to that kid. I forget what his name was, but yeah, great for him.
It was Jaron.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't watching. That was like midway through the All-Star game, right?
A third.
Yeah. So I didn't watch until later on. I didn't really think it was that great of an idea from what I heard about it because I don't know. I felt like it was just dragging out the All-Star game, but it's cool for the kid, I guess.
So this year, the All-Star game brought a new format where there were teams picked by NBA's inside panel, and the games went up to 40. What do you guys think about that format?
I actually did figure out an idea. Shout out to Hysterical Cheese. He was saying that it should be 2 20-minute halves per game instead of just up to 40. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I really liked it.
I think it's a good idea. The idea of, like, having 4 teams in itself could have been a lot better because I think the games were a bit short. Only going up to 40 for a 5-on-5 match wasn't, like, the best idea compared to what they could have done instead of is, like, raise the score or, like, go back to your idea that you mentioned. But I think next year it could be really good if they make some slight tweaks.
Yeah, I like the idea about raising the score. I just thought there wasn't really enough action. It's an all-star game, so obviously they're going to score a lot, and it means we didn't get much time to watch them play. I think this was better than the last couple of years. I couldn't even watch last year. It was so bad, but I still think there's a lot of improvement needed. I don't know how, but I feel like they need to change it still.
Yeah, I agree. For, like, a 3.5-hour program for the NBA to run, I mean, it's not really for, like, basketball anyways. I've seen many people mention this, so I'll just say it again. It's mainly just for businesses by itself and not really for the true NBA fan. And so I think, like, the more money they make is just, like, the better for them, I guess.
I just want to know, I'm really curious, what are your thoughts on, like, all the commercials during the All-Star game with NBA on TNT? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I just don't really think it's great. It makes it really hard to watch. Everyone's there to watch the players, it's no one really cares about all the commercials and all the things they're doing in between, even though it's cool. It's like, you just want to watch the game.
The tribute that was given to, like, NBA on TNT was cool, especially if they are, like, actually going this season, which I still think is up in the air for, like, what could or couldn't happen. But if they are going, it was actually a pretty cool tribute video, and for the NBA to give them one for all, like, the work they did over the past few decades.
Yeah, I think a solution for that, you just gotta have that at the end of the game. They announced the All-Star MVP. Shout out to Steph. Great performance. But yeah, I would just do it at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying full attention to the game. Like, I had my volume off my TV while I was watching it. So I didn't really know what was going on, but I was, like, confused. I don't think it makes any sense to have a 10-minute break between the game. I think it just ruins the flow of everything.
Okay, do you guys think we should have the Rising Stars participate next year in the All-Star game? Because Draymond Green, he was very vocal that he felt like the Rising Stars should not be able to play on the All-Star weekend on Sunday night.
I had to work so hard to play on Sunday night of All-Star weekend. And because ratings are down, because the game's bad, we're bringing in Rising Stars. That's not a fix.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's better to, like, get the young players playing. Maybe I'm just having the mindset of, like, a school basketball coach in this. But I think letting them to play versus, like, the best players in the world is really cool. Even if they'll lose by a bit, it's still like, fun to see the other young players get action, which isn't, like, what they'd normally get. It's not every day that you just face up against LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So this, like, one time is a fun experience points for them.
I don't necessarily agree with Draymond, but I do think it's just less entertaining basketball to have them. I feel like for the All-Star game, you're there to watch the best of the best, and some of the rising stars just like shouldn't be playing there.
Yeah, I don't agree with Draymond at all because in that game too, I thought that was so competitive at the end. We saw the rising stars wanted to see that and wanted to win, beat LeBron, or not LeBron, but Steph, KD, Tatum, and all those vets. It was nice. But I have one more question with like All-Star Weekend. What are your thoughts on LeBron like sitting?
I mean, if he had to sit, then good for him. It's the main reason that All-Star stopped trying in the first place, because like you don't want to get injured on All-Star Weekend. That's not really ideal, and also it'd be a bit of a sad way to go out. Like on the biggest stage, you just, oh no, foot contusion, something like that. So I think it was a good move, especially for like him being 40 years old and stuff.
What does sitting out mean for LeBron's legacy? He ruined his perfect 20 stats by sitting out this weekend. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's not changing LeBron's legacy, but I just think it wasn't the right move. Nothing's going to happen in the All-Star game. No one even tries. People are trying to watch you play. People are paying to watch you play. Just play for 10 minutes in the All-Star game. It's not a big deal.
No, plus it's 100% ruining his legacy, bro. Do you think Kobe Bryant would sit out in an All-Star game, the biggest stage of the entire season, and you're just sitting out? That's just a weak move by LeBron, I'm going to be honest.
All right, but with my thoughts, I really don't understand. Like, I understand that, like, sure he's getting hate, but I'm going to be honest, Anthony Edwards said the exact same shit. Got no hate for it.
I hope you guys have enjoyed our podcast so far. We'll be going for a break, and we'll see you back in a bit.
Watch out with your shoulder, nigga. Shit get real out here, fool. I might swerve in that corner, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweak in this bitch, start letting shit go. And I heard that she wanna show, me who she be, I'm kinda fucking with it, show me some more. Bitch, we tatted head to toe, could give a fuck the story wrote. You wanna tweak it up with me, and I'ma show you how that go. Like the money in my pockets blow, they having combos about me, these pussy niggas don't know. Tell me what they talking about, I ain't fucking listening, let your thoughts run your mouth. But ain't touching dividends, nigga, I ain't from the south, but kick it with my Memphis twin, nigga. I can't take a loss, I'm always going for the win. I been geeked up in this booth, I got my blunt pack for the starter. Nigga, don't be acting new, they put some hoes all through your body. I'm like, oh, the hoes is cool, let them in if that shit water. See a nigga acting bothered, got my green light to red dot. If you spot me, ho, I'm sorry, I can't take you and get gnarly. Look like your nigga want smoke, but we gon' do this shit regardless. And I started from the bottom, just like you, but I was harder. I came up a fucking soldier, nigga, shout out to my father. Shout out
Hey guys, it's Seattle Thunder, and this is the At the Buzzer podcast. Now we will be talking about the Rising Stars game. Does anybody have something they'd like to say?
I think it was cool how they got, like, the winning team got promoted to the All-Star game. Unfortunately, that was the only change to a format that was kind of dying for, like, years by now. So I think they should still, like, there's still drastic changes to be made to this format, but for now, like, this is a step in the right direction.
I think, honestly, the format to making the games more competitive, more than the All-Star, I think Rising Stars players have been at least trying a little bit in making the games entertaining. I think the real problem I had with it was the last game only being to 25. It just made it shut off too short and just really was an anticlimactic ending.
They've got to make it longer. Like, what was the score of that final game? Like 25-13 or something? That's just not good. You need more basketball than that.
Who were you guys' stand-up performers of the Rising Stars matches?
Keontae George, because he, like, led that team to the win. That's pretty much it. Everyone else could have done better, I guess.
I think in the final game, Stephon Castle really took over as well. He had, like, half the points for his team. He just really got that game away early. They dominated the G League team like they should, honestly.
Shout out to my boy Dalton Connect. I thought he was great. But we also got to talk about Castle. Man, he's so good. Best player in this draft class so far.
You know, I asked about your guys' favorite performers, but one of my least favorite performers was Brandon Podozimski. He really underperformed, even with the minutes he got. I'm pretty sure he had the most minutes in his team, and he still only managed to have 2 points and had a lackluster performance on defense. What do you guys think?
Trade him.
That just sounds like how he plays for the Warriors, honestly. He's fucking bum. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate that guy. He's horrible. Get him out of here. Why didn't we trade him already? We could have got Laurie Markkinen. He fucking sucks. Sorry. But yeah, he's horrible.
Please keep him on the team. I hate the Warriors so much. Please keep him on this team. I am begging you, do something right for once in your life.
I mean, yeah, Pods, he had a great rookie season, but this season he has been trash, to say the least. He's been better over the last month or so, but he's not been good.
What do you guys think about the main All-Star matches?
I wasn't really interested in watching the All-Star game, although I never really was going to be, no matter what they did. I still think that it's obvious more defense could have been played, and it's been the case for a very long time by now. And and it's not saying that more defense would make the game more interesting, but it would add a cooler thing for more hardcore NBA fans who would watch all of these regular season games and then see that intensity level that was already at a pretty high standard for what it was compared with how good offense is now, and seeing it be even higher with the best stars in the world on the stage.
Yeah, guy that really impressed me was Wemby, man. He was treating like a real game. Apparently, he even read a book after, but before the game, just like he does during real games. He took it like a game, and I love it. It's great for the All-Star game to me.
What do you guys think about Steph Curry winning the All-Star MVP?
I think Tatum had a bit of a better performance than him, but all in all, Steph did play really well. He did get a lot of shots up, which influenced the amount of points he scored, and but I don't really think that should downgrade anyone's performance of how they played. So, and all in all, considering the gravity and him actually caring about this performance, I think it was pretty deserved.
Agreed. I also think Tatum could have won, but I think it could have gone either way.
What do you think about Team Shaq getting the win?
I expected it. I think I had them beating Kenny's team. I didn't think Chuck's team would be that good, but yeah, Wemby did impress me, so they got to that finals. But yeah, I thought they were really good. I'm sad LeBron didn't play, but it was fun to watch them play. The vets, just one last ride.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even with questionable decisions, if they wanted true veterans, it was really fun to see the OGs go for that one last ride for how much they had played together, especially on Team USA, which they did this past summer. So, and putting this group back together was fun to see.
Recently, news has came out that the NBA considering hosting a 1v1 format for the All-Star game, where the winner gets $1 million. What do you guys think about that?
I will say, I do think this is a good idea, but I'm not sure how much the players would be in tap with this, especially with LeBron already coming out and stating in the past that 1v1 was a fake mode of basketball, and that would probably be the way of a few other people who would participate. And also, it would depend on the size of the tournament, because if you got 64 people together, there would be a few discrepancies, having a 1-seeded Luka Doncic go up against a 64-seeded Cade Cunningham. Actually, he wouldn't be 64 seed, but just for this example, Cade Cunningham's really good this season, and I think he has done some cool things, especially leading this Pistons team, which was in purgatory this past season, into a playoff position. But still, Luka Doncic is obviously the better player, and I think even then he would still have a few more rounds versus a 16-player format, which would be a lot better because there's more group together talent in one group.
I agree with Run CMC there. It would be fun to watch. I don't think the parents would care that much, but I don't know why I said parents, but players. I don't think they would care that much. But yeah, it would be pretty fun to watch for sure.
A lot of people have KD winning the 1v1 tournament. What are you guys' opinions on that? And who do you think would win?
I think KD would win, honestly. The way he can just score the ball at 6'11", can score all three levels, elite level scorer, and he's a respectable defender. I think it's a no-brainer on who'd win.
If he feels the obvious pick to me because of what he can do, especially considering that video of him in 2011, at Rucker Park, absolutely destroying everyone, pulling up from anywhere he wants to on the court, just absolutely rating it in. Even though that was on complete nobodies, even for like such a such a big stage, with Rucker Park being one of the most respected places in like basketball. Like, he still absolutely dominated a bunch of nobodies. The thing is, like, since 2011, a lot of things have changed in that type of game. He still has like the movement ability to do that, but I think versus tougher competition, like having a taller Giannis Antetokounmpo who's also faster and more agile and can like back anyone down, or having Nikola Jokic, who even though he like people will play perfect defense, he can still just go to his like that spot of like a step back three, which we saw versus like in that Lakers series. Like, it's still a pretty difficult like matchup, but I still think he would be one of the favorites.
See, I understand why like people say KD would win, but I don't think you guys realize that KD has too fragile of an ego to actually participate in the 1v1 contest. If it actually happened, I doubt he would actually go, and he'd most likely fake an injury and sit out. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, but even then, that would like tarnish what he does right now. Like, people be like, "Oh, you're weak," and then he's just tweeting from the sidelines, and then everyone's like, "Bro, you're literally not injured. Just play." So I still think he'd play either way, and like if he wins, that's also still a really big boost. Unless if people still find a way to like hate and stuff, but I think he would still do it either way.
I think he would do it just because, like, he does the Olympics every single year. And I think getting $1 million, like, who's not going to turn that down? No matter how much money you make, he's gonna play to me, and I think he's gonna win it.
Yeah, I think if they were to add a 1v1 thing, there would have been a little bit of ego thing for players, so I think they would actually want to join that. But also, they would be like, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't, because they also would be scared to lose, and then you can say that I'm better than you if you lose to someone in a one-on-one. Also, I think if they did a one-on-one, I think there would be like multiple groups, like obviously guards, bigs, wings, just to make it fair. So I don't think there would be just one winner. I think there'd be multiple.
So with the All-Star game on Fanspo, one of the users on Fanspo, his name's Mono KKK. I don't know if I said that right, but he had like an idea, and he said that they should have 4 celebrity teams, like celebrities who are fans of like teams, let's say like the Bulls or the Warriors, and they like, they get their jerseys, and then they go up against professional baseball players, hockey players, and football players, and they verse each other and see who's the best. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's an interesting idea. I think they could definitely get someone to do those people to do it, because a lot of professional athletes like enjoy playing other sports and celebrity games, as we've seen before. I think if they were to do it, football players probably dominate because they have the most basketball experience, but I think it's a fun idea that actually people would watch.
Adding on to like what you said, like we saw Micah Parsons already play in the celebrity game like a few years ago, and he absolutely dominated everyone and won celebrity game MVP. So it wouldn't really be that fair of a matchup, but it still would be fun to watch.
I'm not really the biggest fan of that idea, but I think it's pretty creative. And that I saw that article. I thought like he worked hard on that, so I respect him for that.
Another idea he had was for the 3-point contest, where there should be, like some distractions such as lights and music for like each contestant, and maybe even other contestants like contesting the shots. What do you guys think about that?
I don't really like that idea. I think if you're to switch to 3-point contest, that's not the way. That just doesn't really help you like find out who the best 3-point shooter is. If you were to do it, there would have to be some other way to make it a better competition.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you won the 3-point contest, that still doesn't automatically make you the best shooter in the league. But, like, for that title to be, like, completely illegitimate, because, like, 3-point shooting has different styles. Like, some is, like, fadeaways, others are like catch and shoot, others are contested, and like just in that catch and shoot category, which most people will find like the most pure form of 3-point shooting, to like have that taken away with like actual defenders and stuff doesn't really make that title so legitimate anymore.
I agree. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I don't really think there's a way to fix the 3-point contest. I just think it's all about luck. If the shooters are performing well, then it'll be good. If not, it's not going to be so good.
And this year, one of the hosts of the All-Star game was Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart received a lot of backlash on the internet. What are you guys' opinions on that?
It was pretty annoying just to see him the whole time. It felt like it was more of him on the TV than it was actual basketball. And it felt like he just stole the show when it's really not supposed to be like that sometimes,
Kevin Hart could have done better. I think adding him on wasn't the worst idea they've ever had, especially considering what they have done over the past few years. But like his bits were a bit messy, especially calling someone a porn director, which wasn't the most ideal for like a TV audience, especially with kids watching who are probably going to be the main target, like them and adults, because this event is mainly fit for casuals anyways. And plus having him talk so much probably wasn't fun for like kids with how short their attention span is. Watching someone just talk for so long and not have much of anything actually going for basketball wasn't the most exciting and the best for ratings.
I think, like I said earlier, I just think it's taken away from the game. I think it's a little gimmicky having him run the whole thing. And I just feel like everyone was there to watch the players, and nobody really cares to watch Kevin Hart at an All-Star game, It's not really the point.
All right, so that will be all for today. We thank you for watching the At The Buzzer podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Watch out with your shoulder, nigga. Shit get real out here, fool.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so. See, you can't sleep, baby, I know. Does that mean it's so? Move it up, down, left, right, oh. Switch it up like Nintendo. See, you can't sleep, baby, I know. Does that mean it's so?
I might swerve in that corner, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweaking this bitch, start letting shit go. And I heard that she wanna show, me who she be, I'm kinda fucking with it, show me some more.